Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Gujarat viewers is now set to implement stricter marriage registration rules, mandating parental notification and a 30-day waiting period. Couples will have to declare whether their parents are aware of the marriage, with authorities informing parents via WhatsApp and SMS. Deputy Chief Minister Sanghavi announced an amendment to the Gujarat Registration of Marriages Act, introducing a multi-step verification system. This includes a mandatory declaration from the bride and groom and a requirement to provide parents' Aadhaar cards and wedding invitation details. A 30-day gap will be introduced between submitting the marriage application and receiving the certificate. During this period, key details like wedding photos and witness information will be uploaded to a centralized state government portal. The goal is to digitize records and create a clear, trackable system across Gujarat. The government says these changes reflect feedback from various communities that had been pushing for greater transparency and parental involvement. With that, let's take a look at the proposed amendments to the Gujarat Registration of Marriages Act 2006. Let me show you that, viewers. Now, the Gujarat Marriage Act, let's talk about that. The proposed amendments, parental consent will be mandatory for marriage registration. Now, applicants must provide detailed documents, the Aadhaar, birth school certificates, identity proofs, wedding photos, invitation cards and notarized declarations. Parents' identity and address documents will be required. Parents will be informed within 10 days via electronic or physical means. Final registration will occur after 30 days once all conditions are met. An online portal will be created to upload details and issue certificates. All right, viewers, so these are the proposed amendments. And now, viewers, a very interesting discussion will ensue because we're going to be discussing all sides of to the coin, really. I want to begin by introducing all my guests. I have Major Muhammad Ali Shah, he's a defense expert. Tahira Hassan's a social activist. Himanshu Bhatt is a senior journalist. And Rashmi Samant is author and activist, former SU President, University of Oxford. I'd like to begin by welcoming all my guests, and I want to first go across to Tahira Hassan, who's a social activist. You know, Tahira, when I first read this, the first thought that came to my mind is that we're talking about adults here who want to get married to each other. Now, while a lot of organization is happening in terms of documents, do you not think that two adults who are in love, perhaps, let's look at a scenario, a hypothetical scenario, viewers, where two adults are in love, they want to get married and the parents don't approve. Now, with these kind of notifications going out, this is a little, can adults not decide who they want to marry maybe without telling their parents? Tahira, what do you have to say?
Yeah, of course, you know, in Article 21, that gives us the liberty, personal liberty and the protection of life, and that includes that the mature who has attained the life age of 18 can choose their partner, you know, and the Supreme Court even have said that the parents and the society cannot interfere in their choice, because if the 18-year-old mature can vote and decide the fate of our country, why can't they choose their own partner? This is a thing, because the Supreme Court has upheld this thing. And so many times, I think the late Singh versus state government, this is also the court had said that no, the harassment of the choosing of the partner cannot be accepted, that you cannot harass the person who's choosing the partner by her choice or his choice. You cannot harass them, whether they belong to any caste, religion, anything. It is their choice. And our constitution gives this right This largest democracy is run by the constitution. And Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar even has said that no society can be said as civilized if the woman has not access on decision making. So our girls, young girls who have attained the age of 18, they have every right to choose their partner. It's up to them. Neither parents, the highest court of the land is saying, nor society can interfere into it.
You know, I want to now go across to Himanshu Bhatt, who's a senior journalist. And Himanshu, I want to come to you with the same point, because this system is certainly archaic in its ways. A lot of people want to get married, they don't want to tell their parents, and that's perfectly okay. We're talking about adults here. What do you have to say?
Well, that's perfectly okay. What you said is correct. But then when personal liberties are often misused by certain people, then what happens? You know, right to personal liberty is fine. Constitution gives you that right. Fine, it gives you that right. But you often misuse it. When you are Salim, you become Suresh, and then you get married. In a society which creates a chaos. And mind you, I'll cite you a perfect example. You can go and check it there. In a Panchmahal district, there are towns like Kankoda Koi and Nagakua, where there is not a single person of minority community living. But still, we have hundreds and hundreds of nikah certificates being issued. Now, it is this sort of discrepancies that were creeping up. And before that, Harsh Sanghavi very clearly said, we are not against love marriages. We are not against personal liberties. But then, if an 18-year-old girl or a 21-year-old boy, if there is someone who is closest to that person, is the person who gave birth to that person. And that person must know that, you know, if he or she is getting married, fine. It's their personal choice. Let them get married. That's not an issue. The issue is whether he is getting into that marriage act by some enticement or by some foolhardiness. See here, you know, we are adults and we are this and we are that. It's all fine in the woke philosophy. But when you come to the society proper, now today you will be surprised, Gujarat government has got more than few lakhs of such complaints from Patidar community, which constitutes about 14% of the total population of Gujarat. And the second community is a Thakur community. That also constitutes 6 or 7%. You know, it's talking in the national terms, bigger terms, so it's all fine. When you break it down to the pieces, you will understand that, you know, such cases of a Salim becoming Suresh has become so common that the same girl who was madly in love, after 3 months, goes crying to the father has no face to show, and he has to commit a suicide. That is also happening. Will any of the social activists go there? No, they will not go there. So the problem here is, you know, multifaceted. And they are trying to simplify the problem, you know, root out this sort of things, you know, which is happening in the society for quite some time, quite a long time. I am not casting aspersions on any single community here. All I am trying to say is, people have been cheated. And it is the right of a parent to set these things right before the cheating takes place. That is one chance which is given, and that's why this marriage registration. And you know, 10 days before, if it becomes mandatory, what's the big problem? If you want to get married, you are going to get married some way or another. If your love is so strong that, you know, you must not inform your parents. If my parents know, they will not let me get married. Why fear that?
All right, Himanshu, you made your point, and I also want to talk to you about the fact that we're not just talking about regular marriages here. We're also talking about intercaste couples who want to get married, who are in love. You know that I'm not talking about Aadhaar details, etc. I'm talking about the fact that just sending out a WhatsApp message to an adult's parent and saying, oh, your child is getting married. it just seems a little odd. Now I want to go across to Major Muhammad Ali Shah. Major Muhammad Ali Shah, let's look at the bigger picture as well. Because what about privacy concerns here, especially uploading wedding photos and Aadhaar details to a centralized portal? If I get married tomorrow, I don't want to do this. This is a breach of privacy. What would you like to say? Major Shah, would request you to please unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, Major Shah,
Yeah?
please go on.
Okay. Firstly, my take on marriage is, irrespective, caste, creed, religion, the trouble is we pay a lot of emphasis on a Muslim will get married to a Muslim, a Rajput will get married to a Rajput, a Jat will get married to a Jat, a Maratha will get married to a Maratha, out of caste. I think I might sound very broad-minded and really forward-thinking and advanced as to what people say. I think there's no problem at all. I mean, people term it whatnot, love jihad and whatnot. I think it's rubbish, bunkum. Marriage is not a piece of paper where you just sign a contract and you live together. It is a marriage, it's a culmination of two families, yes, but that happens when? That happens when there's love, understanding, trust, community. There are two things in a relationship which I think I always say it in all my talks. One is communication and the other is trust. You trust one another. I know so many cases where people have got married in the same community, but they've had problems. There's nothing, love marriage or arranged, okay. If you ask me personally, which marriages should there love understandings?
Major Shah, we seem to have a issue with your audio, but I've got your point really, and you're absolutely right. These issues of love jihad don't happen in every case. And, I want to go now to Rashmi Samant. Rashmi, my question to you is that if we're talking about digitization, why do these parental notifications have to go out? And what happens if parents object during the 30-day period? Will the couple should the couple not be allowed to get married to each other? All right, we don't seem to have Rashmi with us, but I do have Taira Hassan. I'll come to you with the same question, Taira.
Pardon, please repeat the question.
Tahira, I was just saying that, if we're talking about digitization here, pardon me, why does this parental notification have to go out? And if parents object within the 30-day period which is provided, then should the couple not be allowed to get married to each other?
Yes, that's very true. I mean, most of the cases, parents don't allow. Gujarat High Court, recent decision which has been taken, that 16-year-old girl, she was the minor, but she told in front of the court that she is not willing to go back to her parents. There was a fear that they will hurt her or they will not allow her. She was in love with some boy. So court said that now state take care of her. Both are ready to attain the marriageable age. And the thing is this, they are saying no, the parents should know, and they should very important, when the girl is in trouble, they will come and help them. In a community, same community, when our beti and the behan get married, sister and daughters, they face domestic violence. Domestic Violence Act is made because our women were facing the harassment within the four wall. Married in the same community, bride is forced to commit the suicide. When they get the same community, and the parents are in the arranged marriages, so what the parents say? Most of the time parents say, no, go and adjust. Go and adjust, beta. There. Most of the time, even the mother come out when the girls commit suicide. We used to say, go and adjust. So what is this? If the 18-year-old girl or boy can decide, I say, and vote can decide the fate of the country, why should, if the parents are not willing, then they go for the marriage, like this registration marriage. or if the intercaste marriage, the Special Marriage Act is, our constitution gives this right, and we must respect our constitution. I mean, they are people who decide this thing because they know the nature of the society, what the Khap Panchayats do. They also do same thing. This is a parallel court is going on, kangaroo court. So I think that the girls go and boy go only when the parents are not willing and they're troubling the girl. Then they go for the registered marriage. So what is the use of the information when the highest court of the land? Do we respect our highest court of the land or not? Yeah, if yes, then tell me, the court is saying that there is no need of the interference of the parents and the society, because these are the cases where the girls are going for the registration marriages, where the parents are not willing. They are against their love. They are against their love marriage. So these are the cases one has to understand when the girls go to the, or boy, the couple go for the registration marriage. Otherwise, the arranged marriage is done. So understand the nature of these marriages.
All right, now I want to go across, of course, to Mr. Himanshu Bhatt. Himanshu, now I want you to respond.
I'll tell you one thing, what she's been talking about, love marriage, love, fine. But when a woman, however big or an adult she is, when she's weaponized for the property, even in the same community, she needs such protection. And especially in the intercaste cases, when the identity is hidden. See, this is basically come up very clearly. Let me tell you one thing. People are not against love marriages. Mine and your children, they are all falling in love, getting married. That's all fine. Everyone knows it. Nobody is objecting to that. The issue here is there are cases which are developing and which are happening fast where the weaponization of the girl child is taking place. An adult, as soon as the girl becomes an adult, the weaponization takes place. And it is against this weaponization that this marriage is. And my basic question is, when the digitalization is taking place, if an SMS is passed on to the parent, only the parent we are talking about, what's the problem? Who will have such a problem? Only those people where she was talking about, because they are in love, they don't want to tell their parents. How many times will you not say your parents? See, in Indian society, let's be very, very clear, we are not living in London. We are not living in Tokyo. We are not living in New York. How much ever you want to be. We are still living in Ahmedabad, Mumbai and Delhi. And our societies are very, very clear. Here, the social values are still there. And in these social values, there is a definite family hierarchy. We are not trying to tell you that, we will punish you. Here, when the registration thing, Harsh Sanghavi came out, he said very clearly, I'll give 30 days for people to come up with the suggestions. And we'll finalize that. But before that, on the first day, there are some people who want
Himanshu,
to jump
I'll have
on
to
it,
interrupt you.
bounce
We
on
have
it.
to close the debate. We're very short on time. But the bottom line is, viewers,